Hey, it's Trip from tripadvice.com, and today we're going to be talking about how to attract girls in high school. And no, this is not for the perverts out there who are over 18 and looking to get high school girls. This video is specifically for you if you are already in high school. Now, I've been putting off this video for the past 4 years, and the reason why is because I really have just been focused on giving advice to guys who are over 18. I never meant to work or help with guys who are in high school, and I'll get to that in a minute why I haven't been doing that. But you have to understand that high school is much different from the real world, and girls are much different in high school than in the real world. When I say real world, I just mean over 18 in college, out of college, things like that. But I know that I've been getting this question literally since day one. The day I put up my first YouTube video, guys have been asking me in the comments, what about in high school? What about in high school? How do I get a girlfriend in high school? How do I get a girl interested in me in high school? How do you get girls to like you in high school? And like I said, I've been putting it off, but I finally decided, you know what? I don't want to leave you guys out. And I know that there's a lot of you out there who watch my channel who are in high school and who are really trying to learn how to get better with women. And so another reason why I decided to make this video is because some of you might be already 16, 17, 18 years old, and you're gonna be in the real world soon. So there's some things that are really, really crucial for you to learn right now that you can take advantage of before you enter the real world. And I kind of want to prep you for that because there's some really, really cool stuff that you could be working on right this second. And I don't want you to just be sitting here waiting until you're 18 to start working on those things. So I decided, let's make a video, and I'm going to give you some of my best information on how to go about dealing with this high school stuff. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a longer video. Let's consider this like the ultimate manifesto, everything related to high school. So this is going to be the only video that I make regarding high school. So watch this until the very end and soak up all the information you can, because this is pretty much it summed up into this one video right here. And you might be thinking like, Trip, how is that possible that you're gonna be able to sum up how to get girls in high school in, I don't know how long this video is gonna be, but however long it is. And trust me, there's only a few things you need to know. If you've been watching my videos on my channel, I simplify everything because really it's not as complicated as people make it out to be. Everything just follows a very specific process, and there's only key principles that you need to learn. And so that's what we're going to be going over today in terms of high school. Let's get into it. First things first, this is what you have to understand. Like I said a little bit ago, girls in high school are much different from all the other age groups. And the reason why is because these girls are still developing, okay? There's a lot of hormones going on, okay? There's a lot of sensitivity going on. They're not fully women yet, right? They're not physically into their full womanhood yet. And so you're dealing with a girl who thinks a lot differently and acts a lot differently than when they get older and they're over 18. So because they are not emotionally developed yet, they're going to be acting a little bit different. Their priorities are going to be a little bit different. So speaking of dating and attraction and relationships to a high school girl is going to be used for them to feel good, right? And of course, yes, all women and men, are in relationships because it feels good, but it's a little bit different from a girl who's in high school, right? She's going to want different things out of a man or a boy than a woman who is 22 might. Again, because of this idea that they're not fully emotionally developed yet. Let's just say that they're still immature, okay? So they're still growing into themselves and learning about what it is that they want. Now, what does a girl want in high school? Well, to relate this back to what I've been talking about a lot on my channel is this idea of status, okay? This is something I've been kind of toying with in terms of how to explain this to guys who are in high school. So status, right? Women are attracted to high status males. That's the first thing that you have to know. It doesn't matter if you're, 15 years old in high school or a woman who is, in her 30s or 40s, okay? Women are attracted to status, to a high status male. Now, what does that mean? Well, a high status male, he has a lot of different factors that's going to make him appear as a high status male. So, for example, a high status male might be someone who's in a leadership position, right? So that could be someone who's like a CEO, or someone who is like the president of the United States of America, or another president, or someone who is in a top ranking in terms of where they're at. So just to get you an idea, that's what a high status male might look like. Now, here's the cool thing about tapping into this idea of being a high status male. You don't have to be a CEO, you don't have to be the president of the United States to attract a woman. Instead, there are actual behavioral qualities of someone who's high status. And you can tap into those whether you are 15 or whether you are 25, right? Some of those things are you hold yourself very confidently, right? You don't shake, you don't put your head down, you don't have poor body language, right? That's some stuff that's exhibiting a very low status behavior. Other things that are high status, you might be able to captivate a crowd or an audience. You might be able to speak to a group of people and everyone's kind of listening in and everyone's really kind of excited for what you have to say. So you might be able to, hold yourself confidently, talk confidently, and not appear too shy or too scared, right? So this idea of confidence, right? Some other things with status is you are really in control of your life, right? So things going on with you, or maybe you are, really organized in your life and you have a path and you have a purpose and you know what you're doing and you're really good at what you do, right? You have a lot of friends who respect you, right? Things like that. Guys who are, messes, who are slobs and very, very overweight and live with their parents at home and are doing nothing with their lives, probably not very attractive to women. Status in high school as a male is different than status when you're, over 18 or in your 20s or 30s. They're very different things, and that's what you have to understand. So you might be thinking like, why is it that all the jocks and all the good-looking guys in high school get all the girls? And this kind of messes with your head. It messed with my head, by the way, because you go into the real world thinking like women are attracted to, guys who are strong and chiseled jaw and very good looking, because that's usually, not all the time, happens in high school, right? And that's what you see on TV too, right? All the popular people, all the jocks, all that stuff, all the girls are going for those guys, are attracted to those guys and not the nerdy guys. Okay, again, the reason is because these guys have status, right? Popular guys have status, right? This is what's attractive to a girl in high school. So that's usually what's going on, and that's why girls are going to be, the cheerleaders or the popular girls or the pretty girls or whatever are usually attracted or going for those types of guys. I know this sounds very cliche, and you might be in a different high school because all high schools are different and there's a lot of different size high schools. For example, I was in a 4,000 person high school. So I know this might sound kind of like, Trip, is that really happening in every high school? Like all the girls are going for the jocks? No, not necessarily. But you just got to understand that women are going to be a little bit more like, whoa, like, oh, I wish I was dating the quarterback, or I wish I was, with this guy, or whatever it is. Now, in some cases, guys who are really smart in high school, that's got some status to it too, okay? So it's not like you have to only be good at sports to have this status. You could be very smart, you could be really in tune with what's going on in terms of, classes and things like that, and you're getting good grades and all that. So that does have a status to it as well. However, again, the guys who are a little bit more good looking, and who are kind of overall the more popular person, they're going to have more girls attracted to them because those guys are also very wanted, right? And girls are not emotionally developed enough to really look at a guy in any other way. They're just going to be like, oh, lots of other girls like him and he's popular and lots of people give him attention, and they're going to want to try to date those guys because that's what's going to help them feel better. Remember I said a little bit earlier that girls are looking for relationships to kind of feel better about themselves, right? It's like they want to feel cool, they want to feel good, and in order to feel that way, because there's a lot of self-esteem issues and a lot of emotions flying around when you're growing into yourself, they're going to be wanting to go towards those guys. So you might be thinking at this point, okay, so how am I going to be able to tap into this, right? How am I going to be able to, get girls if I'm not, the typical good-looking guy, or I'm not a jock or any of that stuff, or I'm not popular and I don't have a lot of friends? So no, I'm not going to tell you, well, you better join the football team or you're screwed. That's not necessarily the case. There are other ways around this, which I'm going to be sharing with you right now. The problem is that most guys, right, are thinking, well, that girl is too pretty. She just likes the popular guy, or she's not going after guys like me because I'm a nerd, or because I'm into this or I'm into that. The problem is a lot of these kids, you included, are not actually taking the time to go and talk to girls. You think that they're out of your league. And of course, this is a problem with guys who are over 18 too, but it's even more of a problem in high school because guys, hey, myself included when I was much younger, they are not giving themselves a shot. And I know why you're not doing it, because it's very embarrassing. There's a lot of people around. You don't want to have a bad reputation. Let me tell you something. When it comes to high school reputation, especially these days with social media, things don't last too long. So my first tip to you is this. You need to become more social, and you need to be at least going after the girls that you are attracted to or you're interested in. How are you going to do that? You got to spark up conversation. Is it going to be scary? Yeah, it's going to be really scary, and it's going to be very tough. But it is not going to be possible for you to ever get any of these girls if they don't know who you are. Because right now, they're in their own little world with their friends and the guys that they're hanging out with, and so that doesn't include you right now. So you can't expect to just, hopefully one day the girl comes up to you and says hello. That only happens in the movies. This is real life here. So what you need to do is you need to be going out there and you need to be talking to these girls that you're interested in, okay? So that's kind of the first part of the advice here. Now, next thing that you need to be doing is you need to be talking to everyone and anyone, okay? I want you to become popular. What does popular really mean? Popular just means that a lot of people like you. That's all that means. That means that you have a lot of people that you're friends with that like you. And this is only going to happen if you're talking to a lot of people. And the great part about this, and I'll go into this in a little bit too, is that when you're going out there and when you're talking to a lot of different kids, you are going to be practicing the social skills that you're going to need when you leave high school, okay? The problem is that a lot of kids in high school who think they're nerdy or not cool or not popular enough or not good looking enough, they just kind of sit there and feel bad for themselves and don't take action and don't do anything because they're scared of putting themselves out there or being embarrassed. The problem with that is you're not preparing yourself for when these girls are mature and want to talk to you and aren't looking for the jocks or the popular guys or any of those types of kids, right? You're going to be older and you're going to need to have those social skills. High school is like the best place to do this because you're in classes with kids all day. You're walking around all day. There's people around you that make sense to talk to you. Trust me, when you get older, it's going to be very difficult because you're not going to have classes and things where there's people around you who you can just easily start a conversation with. You're going to be trying to meet girls at bars, or you're going to be trying to meet girls, at work, or you're going to be trying to meet girls during the day or wherever. And it's just a little bit more difficult, okay? So what I'm saying to you is this is the time to go and at least attempt to make as many friends as possible. And again, this is very specific advice for kids in high school. I wouldn't really recommend this to anyone who's over 18. I think it's great to make a lot of friends and have a big social circle, but I want this to be like you on steroids, not literally steroids. Don't take steroids, kids. But you really like talking to everyone, becoming friends with everyone. I don't care if you think that someone is below you or nerdy or whatever, get that right out of your head, okay? You need to be talking to everyone and anyone. And more specifically, I want you to be talking to girls, okay? I want you to be talking to every girl. I don't care who they are. I don't care if they're cool or not cool. I don't care if they're skinny or they're fat. I don't care what race they are. You need to be talking and starting to talk to as many girls as possible, okay? This is going to actually give you the chance to potentially get a girlfriend or date or lose your virginity or whatever have you, right? Because you're opening yourself up to more girls. But what's gonna happen is you're gonna be tapping into this idea of, wow, I can really easily make friends and be social with a lot of people. And what could happen from that is you're gonna see some of the more pretty girls or popular girls or whatever, the girls that you're interested in, seeing that you're friends with so many people. And there's this principle that really works across the board, whether you're in high school or out of high school, called social proof. And so when they see that people like you and that you're, we'll use the term popular here, right? They're gonna have a slight attraction towards you. Like, who is this kid? Who is this guy? What's going on? He knows everybody, right? So that's kind of the first set of tips here. Now next, what I want you to be doing is I want you to be joining as many clubs as possible. And if you are interested in sports or you want to play sports or you're athletic enough to do it, then do it. What's stopping you, right? Go out there, play sports, join clubs, talk to people, make friends, right? Make an excuse to be social. Now I know a lot of you guys out there are really focused on your studies, and trust me, that's great. Go for good grades. But one thing that I don't think enough people are telling you is that you need to be working on more things in high school than getting good grades, okay? You need to be working on your social skills because that is just as important in the real world than getting A's and B's, okay? Now you might be thinking, well, Trip, that's really hard. I gotta be working on my studies and doing homework, and they give me so much, but I also gotta be doing clubs. How am I gonna have time for all this? What other time do you have anyways? What else are you gonna be doing all day? There's nothing else to do. All you have to do all day long is talk to kids, make friends, talk to girls, and do your homework and join clubs. Is it hard? Yeah, it's hard. But, like I usually say, nothing is going to be easy, especially if it's worth it. You gotta work hard at this stuff, right? So now is the time to implement that. If you can walk out of high school being able to have social skills that are as fine-tuned as you could have, and you have good grades, the sky is the limit. I'm telling you right now, literally you have the world at your fingertips, okay? You want those social skills. It's really in your benefit to be working nonstop around the clock in high school again, working in school, but also making sure that there's time for social activity. So important. A lot of the guys that I have coached throughout the course of Trip Advice being alive, most of these guys had a high school and college experience where they had really no friends or their parents worked them to the bone in just focusing on their studies. And all of a sudden, they're 25, 30, 35 years old, and they're like, how do I talk to girls? And it's like, that's so sad, because it's not too late for them, and it's not too late for you if you're watching this and you're 45, but man, where did the time go? You could have been using that entire time to be working on this, okay? So again, I want you to be talking to as many people as possible. Introduce yourself, go over to them and say, hey, we have the same class, we haven't met yet, what's your name? Or maybe you know their name. You're like, hey, what's up, Steve? Hey, what's up, Jessica? How you doing? What's going on? If they think you're weird for talking to them and they're kind of like, like what's going on, that's okay. They're not used to it. The point is when you make yourself friendly and you make yourself approachable, and you can use some of the videos on this YouTube channel to be able to work on friendly approaches, people will respond to you very nice, okay? People in high school, these kids in high school, they're just a little bit more sensitive because you're all, developing more in terms of, emotionally and physically. And so kids are a little bit more awkward. So you just got to be really nice and be very friendly and put a smile on your face and talk to more people. Okay, here's my next set of tips for you, because we're not done yet. So the next thing I want you to do is, when you're going out there and when you're talking to girls and guys, I want you to make sure that you make a lot of girlfriends, okay? A lot of girlfriends. Not girlfriends like they're gonna be your girlfriend, like in a relationship, but I mean girls that are friends. I really want you to focus on making girls your friends. See, a lot of the guys and girls in high school, they'll kind of split off, right? And again, that's not necessarily the case. There's a lot of high schools where girls and guys are obviously friends, but just bear with me as I speak in generalities. But the point is that you want to be making a lot of friends that are girls, because this is going to be some of your biggest lessons in terms of attraction. Yes, there's a lot of videos on this YouTube channel. You can learn a lot about women, but some of the best lessons you're ever going to really get is by being friends with girls in high school. That was one thing that I tried to do as much as possible, and it did help. I had a few very close girl friends, again, not girls in relationships, but girls that were friends, and it helped me learn more about what women wanted and what women were attracted to. And it also, and this is the most important thing here, is that it made me and will make you feel more comfortable in front of the presence of a woman, okay? It's gonna make you feel way more comfortable. See, there's a lot of kids who end up turning 18 or 22 and they never even spent time with a girl before, except for maybe their sister, okay? But that doesn't even count, right? You need to spend hours and hours and hours spending time with women, seeing how they interact with each other and how they interact with you and what they're talking about and what they like and all that stuff. That is gonna be such a big, big lesson for you. And especially in terms of being comfortable in front of girls, okay? You need to spend time with them so that when you turn 18 or you're 22, you're in the real world and you're out there, this is not foreign to you. You're not like, oh my God, what's it like? Like, how am I gonna talk to this girl? What is she gonna say? What's going on? You see, this is why people fear things, right? The reason why people fear anything is because it's unknown to them. They've never done it before. I bet you something you've done a billion times you're not scared of, right? It's all about getting the unknown known. And the best way to do that is by interacting with as many girls as possible. So that's what I want you to do as you go through your high school experience. And the cool thing is that if you're watching this and you're a freshman right now, you could be talking to girls, in your grade, and then as you get older, right, you're gonna be talking to maybe girls who are older than you and then girls who are younger with you. There's just so many options for you. Okay, so let's go back into this idea of what you can do if you are trying to attract the girls that you're interested in, that you think are out of your league, right? I always said, like I said in the beginning, you need to go up, you need to start talking to them, you need to approach them, right? What do you talk about? What do you say? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you say. You can come up with anything. I could give you the most perfect line right now, and you're still gonna be scared to go do it, okay? So there is no perfect line. It's really going up and saying hi, or saying, hey, I haven't met you before, or hey, you're in my class, aren't you? You're Jessica, right? And just starting conversation, okay? It's very, very important. You gotta understand that girls, whether they're in high school or they are older, they are looking for guys who are confident. That is still something that they're looking for, A lot of the so-called popular kids are a little bit more confident. They're a little bit more comfortable in themselves, right? So you need to become confident. And the way you're gonna do that is by just going up there and starting the conversation. And a lot of girls are going to be like, wow, he came up and said hi. He's not that scared, It's not gonna be as bad as you picture it. So that's kind of like your first step, is going up and talking to these girls, starting conversation. You might find out that these girls suck, that they're really just terrible, and you might not like them anymore. You're probably just sitting there in class like, dreaming, she's so pretty, and we can hold hands together and do all these wonderful things together, and you have no idea who she is because she's just a girl in your class that happens to be pretty, okay? So it's up to you to find out if this is gonna be a girl that's gonna be worth your while. And by the way, these are a lot of lessons I'm saying to you right now, or lessons that are gonna be good for you when you're out of high school too, because you don't wanna be with a girl who's just pretty and has no substance whatsoever, and it's just boring and sucks, okay? So that's what you gotta do. Start those conversations and go up there. That's gonna be your first step, and that's gonna help you become more confident. Now, the next thing you can do, and this is just one option, you might have some better ideas, but one really good idea here is to start becoming friends with these girls who you're interested in, okay? Become friends with them. I rarely say this to anyone on my channel, but you actually kind of want to friend zone them. You do, you want to friend zone them. And you want to be able to start just hanging out with them and being with them and creating events, going out on the weekend and doing something, whether it's going to be the mall or whatever you do in your town. Become friends with these girls, get a bunch of your guys together. Hopefully they are, interested in learning this stuff. Show them this video if they want to get better at girls with you and better at social skills. But grab groups of people, go out together, start spending more time together. You know, you're not going to be able to just go up and start a conversation and like, boom, instantly attract a girl in high school. It's just going to be more complicated than that. They're going to want to spend time with you, see how you are around people, see that you're cool, that you're fun, that you guys have similar interests, things like that, right? And just have an overall good time with you. That's what they're going to want to see. So you want to befriend as many of these girls as possible and get them out and have fun. Have something going on. So, you know, however you communicate, I really don't know how high school kids are communicating these days. It's probably Facebook messaging. It's probably texting. You know, I don't know if you guys go on AOL Instant Messenger anymore. Probably not. That's what I did when I was in high school, like 15 years ago. But yeah, whatever way you guys are communicating, get them out. Come up with fun stuff to do. You know, have this kind of fun little life in high school and have girls be part of that. Here's another really good tip that just came to the top of my head. As you get older and you're, you know, when you're starting to become like a sophomore or junior, you're going to start seeing these younger girls come in. And younger girls, they look up to the guys who are a little bit older, okay? So if you're like a sophomore or a junior and the new freshmen are coming in, talk to them. You know, it's going to be easier to have conversations because they're all new and are looking to, you know, talk to boys and enjoy their high school experience. So talk to those girls as much as you're talking to this girls who are in your age group or even older, okay? Talk to, again, can't stress it enough, talk to everybody. And here's my last tip of advice. I hope you made it this far because, and I'm kind of rewarding you with the best piece of advice because this is very important. You don't really want to try to get a girlfriend in high school, okay? You really don't. Unless you can come up with a good argument, please write in the comments below. But as far as I can see, getting a girlfriend in high school, solely sticking with what I mean by girlfriend is like you're solely sticking with one girl. You and the girl are together and it's you and you're not dating. I don't know what that really means necessarily in high school at this point. It probably just means, you know, hanging out after class. But you don't want to have just one girl. Why? It's not obvious to you by now because you've watched this whole video. I'll just let you know. You don't want to have one girlfriend is because that is going to take all the time away from you being able to socialize and meet other girls, okay? If you go throughout high school, you know, just, you know, losing your virginity maybe, hooking up with some girls, spending time with a lot of girls, having a lot of girls that are friends, and that happens a lot from freshman year all the way to senior year, and you never had a girlfriend, meaning one girl that you ended up spending a lot of time with, I see that as a success. I really do. Because you spent your time being able to practice socializing and spending time with a lot of different girls. You know what happens, and this happens too when you get into college. You know, a lot of guys will just kind of like get into college and like, boom, you know, they can get a girlfriend because, you know, there's a lot more girls that are around. They get a girlfriend and then all of a sudden they got one girlfriend and from 18 to 23. You get in the real world and, you know, it just doesn't work out because she moves away and you move somewhere else or whatever happens. And then you're like, oh shit, could have spent all my time, you know, learning how to socialize, learning how to attract girls, learning how, you know, dating works. And you know, that doesn't happen because you kind of solely focus on one girl. Now, here's the thing. It's tough because it's not the end of the world if you get a girlfriend. Sometimes it's good to learn a little bit about relationships, you know, when you're in college and in high school, and you're going to be watching this video and saying, Trip, no, like I want a girlfriend. I really only want to spend my time with this girl. I love this girl. That's fine. Test it out. Try it out. But I'm telling you, very, very, very high chances you're not going to be marrying this girl. Yes, I have friends that are high school sweethearts, but maybe like a few out of all the people that I know who I went to high school with, very few people ended up marrying their high school sweetheart. My point again is that you don't want to spend all of your time necessarily with one girl because it's going to be a detriment to your social skills, your attraction skills, and learning more about you, you know, as you go through this process. It's going to be a lot tougher to meet girls as you get into college and as you get older. So what I'm trying to do with this video really, besides teach you how to maybe get a girl in high school, is prep you for what's going to happen when girls are emotionally mature and when they're ready for the guy who isn't necessarily Mr. Jock, athlete, popular guy that they're usually going for in high school, right? You're going to be ready to be totally confident, totally comfortable with girls, and girls want to see that. They want to see that you got your act together, you're confident, you're comfortable with girls, you're comfortable with yourself, you like yourself, you have self-esteem, right? All those things together, that's what's going to really make the difference, not just in high school, but especially as you get into 18 and up. Okay, there we go. If you have any questions, write them below. I hope you made it this far. I hope this helped you. If you did, like the video. I will be in the comments. I will be answering your questions to anything that I left out. I feel like I tried to hit as many points as possible. That's going to be the most beneficial for you if you are in high school and trying to learn how to get better with this crazy species that we call women, okay? So I hope that helped. Subscribe to the channel because there's going to be more videos coming out for you. And as you get older, you're going to be able to use more of these videos to help you attract more girls as you graduate and go into the real world. So thanks for watching. Again, hope this helped. I'll see you in the comments. Peace.